during that period, I then realized that it's more challenging to come back to a developing nation like Philippines, because it was through the journey that I was able to see what skills or expertise do Philippines need to have, and I hope in my little effort I could help on that.
Hey, I'm Al, and this is the Paglalayag podcast. I'm using this podcast to showcase what's going on around me in the clean tech and hardware space dito sa Filipinas. These next few episodes will introduce you to some high-powered social and technology entrepreneurs and balik scientists. While this is a business channel, I'm mostly going to keep things at a personal level and avoid talking too much about numbers. I hope you will find this cast of characters as impressive and inspiring as I do. So, tuloy-tuloy lang. Let's get into it. Okay, this is Paglalayag. I'm Al, and today I'm joined by DJ Matienzo, who returned to the Philippines in 2021 after completing his industrial PhD at the University of Chemistry and Technology in Prague, Czech Republic. He's now serving as the Chief Commercial Officer of Nascent Technologies, a startup engaged in sodium-based battery products for the Philippines. So thank you for joining me, DJ. And why don't you start by telling me a little bit about your research and coming back and about Nascent?
Sure. My main research interests are actually in the field of new materials development, new product development, especially for green energy technologies such as water electrolyzers and fuel cell. So all my PhD, most of the topics were related to developing new materials for these innovative anode materials, especially for the oxygen evolution in water electrolysis. So coming back to the Philippines, I wanted to build my own startup, but back then I was trained in Antler, the Netherlands program. The main problem there is that I couldn't find any co-founder who wants to build the same green technologies that I have. So that's why I decided to come back here, and luckily Professor Joey Ocon of UP Diliman offered me a postdoctoral researcher position at UP Diliman for hydrogen technologies, developing as well new materials. And from there, that's my full-time job. And then we decided that we will venture together for the battery startup, because it's another form of energy storage, not related to the ones that I did during my PhD, which is hydrogen, but mostly I could apply my commercialization skills that I was able to develop in the Netherlands during startup training to applying it to this kind of deep tech startup.
How long was that Antler program?
The Antler program was like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And currently my role is at the Technological Institute of the Philippines as a head of business development, mostly focusing on how to commercialize either through spin-offs or through licensing agreement all the technologies of TIP that is near towards commercialization.
TIP, Technical Institute of the Philippines.
Yes.
Okay. Great. And Nascent?
At Nascent, Nascent is a company, is a startup, Philippine-based startup wherein we're developing post-lithium ion batteries, meaning other chemistries than the conventional lithium-ion batteries. And at the same time, we're developing solutions for existing lithium-ion battery energy storage, such as the battery management system and energy management system technologies.
Very nice. And the balik scientist, what was sort of the thing that really made you decide the balik scientist program was what you wanted to do?
Okay, yeah. So actually, I have already how do you call it? It's because I'm translating from Italian, an indefinite term with the Italian company. So actually, they gave me a full-time position after the PhD as a researcher in the company. But back then I was thinking like I needed only 1 more year to become an Italian resident, but I really want to build my own startup. And based from what I've seen during the training in Antler, it was difficult for me to, due to some cultural differences, to operate in Europe as of this moment, because I still need to establish myself. And then that's why I decided that I would like to come back to the Philippines and build my own startup here. And at the same time, if there's an opportunity available, such as the postdoctoral researcher position and the benefits from the Balik Scientist program on top of that full-time position, that's mostly it's for, let's say, how to sustain my lifestyle, my living, and at the same time I could do what I want to do.
Okay. And so besides the Antler program, had you tried your hand at business before that in any way, or was it all academics before this?
Well, we have with my girlfriend back then, which is my wife right now, we have a small business, an online business in the Philippines. That's, I think, the nearest entrepreneurship experience that I had. But also during my position, like when I was working in the company, we're mostly focusing on developing products that are commercializable. So I think this is the nearest thing that I have for commercialization. But yeah, on top of that, I don't have any experience.
Sure. Okay, so you do have some prior stories to tell from before, so you could talk to any of that experience as you feel is good. Can you think of like a real high point in like entrepreneurship? Can be a lot of ups and downs, a bit of an emotional roller coaster. What would you say has been a high point for you in your career since you started all of this stuff?
Including the one that I did here in the Philippines.
Sure.
I think the highest point is when we were able to close our pre-seed round. So I was mostly in charge of making the pitch deck, and also like tailor fitting the pitch deck according to the investors that we are going to pitch to. So I think that's the highest point, like closing this pre-seed round, which is about 1.5 million US dollar. I think this is the highest point so far from on my entrepreneurial journey.
Very exciting, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, lots of cool things ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. What about low points?
Low points, I think, is the one that I couldn't find any co-founder, like back then in Europe. Like I found some, but it was generally not suitable fit. And when I found one, it was the point that the partners of the VC, they don't want to invest to that kind of green tech, clean tech, deep tech startup that we wanted to build.
Sure. Okay, so the next part is a couple quotes. I want to hear your thoughts. So we've got two characters here. Kissinger said that if you don't know where you're going, every road will get you nowhere. And then Confucius said that roads were made for journeys, not destinations. What do you think? Where do you sit on that? Between those two?
I think the one that the second one, the one where Ian Confucius said, like, it's the journey that matters. Like, I didn't imagine that coming back to the Philippines, honestly, like, I don't have something against the Philippines, but, you know, I was already in a first world country society. And then during that period, I then realized that it's more challenging to come back to a developing nation like Philippines, because it was through the journey that I was able to see what skills or expertise do Philippines need to have, and I hope in my like little effort I could help on that. Like, I think that's one. Like the ending won't matter because I didn't think that I will end back to the Philippines, but yet here I am because of the journey that through the course of decisions and actions that I did in the past made me come back here to the Philippines.
Cool. Yeah, you really never know.
Yes.
Do you? Okay, and like, do you have a destination in mind, or like, what would you consider success for you with everything you're doing?
I think because right now it's my business development head and the chief commercialization officer hat that I'm thinking that the success for me is something that when we're able to sell our product, like it's a revenue generating product. I mean, before it's always my passion towards saving the environment and like contributing to the green efforts and stuff like these for fighting against climate change. But at the end of the day, if we want to succeed on this kind of venture, we need to have some revenue. And at the end of the day, it's us maybe at some point to pay the green premium. But it's always for me that whenever you're revenue generating, it's a success story for me.
Great. That's all of the questions that I've got. So this has been DJ. What's a good way to get in touch?
Yeah, you can reach me through email. So
Sure.
DC Matienzo at Nascent Batteries. That's NASCENT batteries.com or dj.matienzo at tip.edu.ph.
What kinds of projects, technologies are TIP excited about these days?
Yeah, so actually TIP technologies, they're really field agnostic, but mostly those who require engineering, coding, programming technologies. And what like the nearest commercialization efforts that we have is on health tech right now. But we're also like me coming here at TIP, we're dealing towards energy related technologies and green technologies, green energy technologies.
Awesome. So our catch line here is tulay lang. So just keep on going with it. And this has been Pagl. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll sign out from here.